Let me welcome you to this course, Electronics Instrumentation and Control System. So, the name of Electronics Instrumentation and Control System is divided into two. First is the electronic instrumentation is the one subject, and the control system is the another subject. So that is the combination of these two subjects. Instrumentation, first we will be see, or first we will be understand what is the electronic instrumentation. The instrumentation is an integral part of an each and every branch of engineering. Test and measuring instrument have always been used by physicists, chemists, and engineer for measuring the various parameters. Okay, so as you know that in electrical, there are the 9 basic electrical parameters or quantities. Okay, that quantities are resistance, inductance, capacitance, current, voltage, power, energy, frequency, and power factor. Okay, these are the electrical quantities. Okay, some instruction for student. Student, this is the recurring meeting. Okay, so after 40 minutes, you have to join it again using the same ID and passwords. Then I will keep one, two or three student unmute so as to come know my voice and screen. And question and answer sessions will be in the last 15 minutes. Okay. Okay. Now the instrumentation is the play the vital role in each and every branch of science and engineering. Okay, measuring instruments have always been used since the 18th century. Okay, so this is the measuring instrument is used in the instrumentation as well as the control systems. Okay, so here the some units are depend on the control system and two unit is on the instrumentation. Then electrical measuring instrument commonly used for measurement of current, voltage, power, energy, frequency, power factor that are earlier explained. Okay. To studying these points are more important for construction purpose, construction, working principles, advantages and disadvantages. So these are the some points. Then first unit, that is the principle of measurement, testing and measuring instrument. Before starting our actual syllabus, topics to be covered. So today, if possible, I will cover all the points. So first points, that is the introduction to an instrumentation system. Whenever we have to start the new course, so first point is that is always that is the introduction to an instrumentation system. Then we have to understand the types of electrical instrument, then classification of electrical instrument, how it classified. Okay, then general principle of measurement, uh, general principle of measurement, then classification of instrument are two, basically that is divided into two: absolute instrument and secondary instrument. Secondary instrument are also divided into the three parts: indicating, recording and integrating instrument. Then again we classified that AC instrument, DC instrument, or AC and DC, or some instrument are analog instrument, some instrument are digital instrument. So basically the previous instrument are the analog instrument, and nowadays the most of the instrument we are using in the lab, that is lab or refineries or any process control industries, that all instruments are the digital. Okay, now the era of the industry is 4.0, so that is the machine to machine communication. So there we use the IoT as a IoT sensors in most of the times. Okay, then generalizes the instrument basics. So basics of measuring instrument, the basics action involves of the indicating instrument, and that is depend on the three types of torque. Okay, so deflecting torque, controlling torque, or damping torque. Okay, so that is the basics of measuring instruments. Then a generalized measurement systems. Then we will discuss the block diagram of generalized measurement system. Here I have taken here the one basic diagram and one the detailed diagram. Then some important terms in the measurements. Okay, that important terms is nothing but the linearity, sensitivity, accuracy, precision, scalability. Uh, these all terms I will cover, and then the advantage and example. So, student, am I audible? My screen is visible? Okay, okay, no problem. No problem. Thanks, thanks. Okay, so any new course is start, then we have to understand what is the prerequisite. So you are coming from first year, so prerequisite subject is nothing but the your first year subject. So here the basics electrical engineering is the your prerequisites. Okay, you have studied the number of circuits, then number of theorems. So here that will be helpful to understand this electrical electronics instrumentation and control systems. So course objective, there is the three course objective, and that course objective is depend on your subject. So first there is the 6 unit. First 2 unit is based on electronics instrumentation. Remaining 4 unit is based on the control system. Okay, so first course objective is that to provide the basic knowledge about the various sensors and transducer. Okay, so first unit there you have to study the introduction parts. Then um, second unit we have to study the sensors, transducers. Okay, sensor, what is sensors? Sensors that sense the wide range of drift energy, or we can say are used to detect and responds to signal. We can say that sensors can convert the physical parameters into the electrical signals, and transducer is nothing but that converts the first of first means input energy to the output energy, or that converts the energy from one form to the another form. Okay, uh, these there are the number of types of sensors, that is the movement sensors, electrical signals, radiant energy, thermal sensors, magnetic energy. So these are depends this type of sensors. It can sense the movement or some electrical signals. Okay. Now the second point, to provide the fundamental concept of control system. So this first point covers the complete the electronics instrumentation part. Now second point, to provide the fundamental concept of control system. So concept of control system. So that is control system such as mathematical modeling, time response, and frequency response. That is the third unit, fourth unit. But we will understand what is control system. First, we will see the what is system. So you are attending my lectures in a class. So in class, there is the blackboard or whiteboard or uh, 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 I can show the PPT. Okay, so that system is there. Then student is there, bench is there, chair is there, your pen, books, everything is there. But that is the system, means the that is the um, number of objective to attain the certain achieve. Okay, so that is nothing but the system. System means the number of the block. Okay, their objective to achieve the certain objective. But what is the control system? If that class the teacher will be there or teacher will present, okay, then that complete classroom is there, and that complete classroom is the example of the control system. Similarly, you flying the kite. Okay, so kite is a one system. Okay, so it is kite is manufactured by one plain paper, then stick, then thread. Okay, glue, these things are required, but that is not the control system. When it control system, when the some boy or you are flying that kite, okay, means you are controlling that kite, that is the control system. Again, one example I can take the switch, one electrical bulb. Okay, if I am applying the power to that bulb, the bulb is on, but that is not controlling, that is system, that is we require the bulb, electricity. And if the switch is there and if you are using the switch to on or off, that means we are controlling that bulbs, that is the control system. So this is our second course objective. Then frequency response, time response analysis. In time response analysis, we have to study the stability, root locus, and in frequency response, we have to study the Nyquist, polar plot, Nyquist plot, and Bode plot. Okay. Then third course objective to develop the concept of the stability and its assessment criteria. Okay, so to concept of stability means uh, we can calculate the stability by using the characteristics equation, and for characteristics equation we have to calculate the transfer function, and that maybe in open loop system, closed loop systems. Okay, or in another way, stability is the if the bounded input, the output should be bounded, or if there isn't any input voltage, then output should always tends to be zero. If you are giving no input, if you are giving zero input or no input, so we are getting the zero input, zero output also. If you are getting some negative output also, that is not the system is stable. So that is in actual practical. And if you have to calculate the stability on paper, so for that we have to calculate the transfer function, characteristics equation, then we have to apply the some Hurwitz criteria, route criteria, or some root locus analysis. Even the some frequency response analysis also we can understand the stability of the system. So these are the core objective. So after um, finishing this course or after completing this course, these are the objective. Then course outcome is also the important part, that is called as the COs, CO1, CO2, CO3. So here are the 6 course outcome, and that is the purely depend on the your unit. Okay, so first identify the various sensors, transducer, and their brief performance specification. Then second, understand the principle of working of various transducer used to measure temperature, displacement, level, pressure, and their application in industry. Okay, so these two course outcome is depend on the this two unit. First unit is course outcome first, unit 1, and unit 2, that is the course outcome 2. So unit 1 is principle of measurement, testing, and measuring instrument. Okay, we have to calculate the or we have to calculate the resistance, inductance, capacitance by using the bridges, AC bridges and the DC bridges. Okay, that is including in first unit. Then second unit we have to understand the sensors, transducers. Okay, so there are the temperature sensor, displacement sensor, level, pressures. Okay, and their application in industry. Then third, determine the models of physical system informs the suitable for use in the analysis and design of control system. Then fourth outcome is to obtain the transfer function for a given control system. So transfer function is important part. Okay, how to get the transfer function? That is the output by input. That is nothing but the transfer function. Then fifth, understand the analysis of system in time domain and frequency domain analysis. Then six, predict the stability of given system using the appropriate criteria. Okay, so now before starting the unit 1, so we'll take we'll discuss some syllabus in short. Okay, the unit 1 is principle of measurement, testing and measuring instrument. Okay, so that is depend on the principle of measurement. Principle of measurement means the instrument is designed to measure. The sensitivity of measurement is a measure of change in instrument output that occurs when quantity being measured changes by the given amount. Okay, and testing is nothing but the systematic procedure for measuring a sample of an individual behaviors such as multiple choice performance test. Okay, so introduction to basic instruments. So I will cover this in today's PPT. Then measurement system concept, accuracy, precisions, linearity, sensitivity, resolutions, hysteresis and calibration. So this part we will cover this PPT. Then measurement of resistance. So measurement of resistance, Kelvin double bridge, Wheatstone bridge and mega ohm bridge. Actually, the measurement of resistance is divided into three types. First is the measurement of low resistance, measurement of medium resistance, measurement of high resistance. So medium measurement of medium resistance, Kelvin bridge is used. Okay, so in Kelvin bridge, there is some drawback, so we can use the Kelvin double bridge, and that is in your syllabus. Kelvin double bridge is used for the low measurement. Then Wheatstone bridge, that is nothing but called as the uh, common bridge or basic bridge. In Wheatstone bridge, there is the four-arm. The one arm there we applied the unknown resistor, that value we have to measure, and all three-arm resistor value we known. And using the bridge valence condition, we can calculate the unknown resistance. So this Wheatstone bridge is nothing but the medium resistor measurement. The Wheatstone bridge can be used with the strain gauge to measure the beam resistance. Okay, cantilever beam means that is used in the civil also. Okay, then these bridges are used in the weighing scale also. We are applying the load cell of the one arm of the bridge and we calculate the weight. Okay, and we can we display that weight. So there are number of instrument are available now. Okay, there the Wheatstone bridge is used. Then mega ohm bridge is used for the measurement of the high resistance. Now next, the measurement of inductance. In your syllabus there is only the two bridges is there, Maxwell bridge and Hayes bridge for measurement of inductance, but there are the many other bridges. Then measurement of capacitance also we can use the Desalti bridge, then sharing bridge, but in your syllabus only the sharing bridge are there. These bridges also the 4 arm and unknown value of resistance, capacitance, inductance we have to apply at the 1 arm. Then again these bridges also the half bridge, quarter bridge or full bridge. Okay, we can use according to our application. So this is your unit 1. Then unit 2. Unit 2 is basically on the sensors and transducer. Okay, so first we have to know the basic of sensors. Okay, we know the sensors that converts the physical parameters into the electrical signal. The example of sensors are it measurement of temperature, blood pressure, humidity, speed. Okay, these are the few examples. Then that is divided into the two active and passive transducer. Then characteristics and selection criteria transducer, how it selects the transducer for it required for the primary section, secondary or the load section. According to we can select the transducer. Then next, displacement and pressure. The potentiometer is used for the measurement of displacement. Then pressure gauges, linear variable differential transformer, LVDT, and measurement of pressures and displacement on strain gauges. Okay, so potentiometer is nothing but there we can use the varying of resistors. So that is we can changing the resistor point 1 to point 2. So we can measure the displacement by using this. Okay, then variable differential transformer LVDT. There is the input, primary input and input side and output side, and in between there is a core, and in core is moving. Okay, so according to it change the displacement, we are getting the output at secondary side. So in this way we can measure the displacement by LVDT. Similarly, there is the one RVDT also, rotary variable differential transformer. Okay, so that measure the rotational displacement also, but that is not included in your syllabus. Then measurement of pressures, pressure measurement, we can use the diaphragms for measurement of liquid pressures or air pressures. Okay, according to the change in the diaphragms, it will convert it into the electrical signal, so we can measure the pressures. Displacement strain is also there. Okay, that is strain gauges we can use with the Wheatstone bridge, and we can measure the displacement. Then temperature transducer, there are the mini temperature transducer, resistance temperature detectors, RTD, thermistor, thermocouples. Okay, this type of temperature transducer. Okay, in our home heater there is the combination of RTD, thermistor and thermocouples. Okay, so temperature is one of the most widely measured and control variable. Industry has a lot of product during manufactures required the controlling temperature at various stage. Okay, so RTD and thermistor that are in the passive devices whose resistance changes with the temperature, and hence it need an electrical supply to give voltage output. Okay. Okay, so then resistor of the conductor changes when its temperature is changes. Okay, that is the in temperature RTD. Thermocouple, thermistor, that is the thermistor another types. Okay, and thermocouple. Thermocouple is the number of the bimetal is used. So there is the junction in the thermocouple, and whatever the change in the junction at A, we will get the change in the junction of at the output side, and we can measure the temperature and their ranges, their application. That is the second unit. Then unit third, introduction to control system analysis. From unit third, your control system parts begin, control system subject begins. the all entire control subject is kept in the 4 unit. Okay, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, all complete. I taught this control system so many times in our college. Okay, and my specialization also in the control systems. So I taught this subject. So this complete control system is they kept in the 4 units. So first unit there is the introduction part, open loop and closed loop systems. There are the examples of control systems. So there are many example of the control systems. Okay. Mm, I have given the example of electric switch. Okay, that is the open loop control system. Then closed loop control system. If the feedback element is there and that feedback is correcting the error, that is the closed loop control system. Okay, so um in home AC air conditioner, that is the closed loop control system, because we are to applying the feedback. Okay, and that will be maintaining the temperature. That is the closed loop control system in mm, okay. Then modeling, so modeling transfer function models. Okay, then block diagram reduction techniques and signal flow graph. Block diagram reduction techniques means we have to calculate the transfer function on paper. So whatever system we have to use, we have to convert it into the block, and we have to reduce it, and we have to calculate the transfer function. So how to calculate the transfer function is nothing but the output voltage or output by input in simple way, and using that we can calculate the characteristics equation. Then signal flow graph is that is nothing but the uh, graphical representation of your block. Okay, in block diagram we use the block, and in signal flow graph instead of block we have to use the arrows. So in this way we can calculate the transfer function in signal flow graph also. There we use the formula in signal flow graph. Okay, then response of control system. In response of control system, the dynamic response, standard test signal. So there are the three types of standard test signal, that is step input, ram input, and parabolic input. Okay, so that standard test signal is used for the stability, to check the stability of the system. Then transient and steady state behavior of the first and second order systems. So order is depend on the how many devices or how many circuit we used. Okay, if we use that is in the amplifier part or feedback part. If you use the amplifier, one amplifier or one op amp, that is the first order, means order one. If you use the more than one, that is the second, two, third. In such a manner we can use the n type or n order. Okay, so to minimization the error, the whatever order we required, we have to consider that order, and we have to minimize the error. Sometimes we require the third order, fourth order. Similarly, that can be used in the filter side also or feedback side also. One RC is used, means resistance capacitance or resistance inductance, or resistance inductance capacitance. So that is the first order feedback, second order feedback, in this way. So steady state error in feedback control system and their types. Then next is the concept of lead and lag compensator. So in lead and lag compensator, so that is the types of the compensator we can use in the feedback: lead compensator and lag compensator. Okay, to maintain the stability and to maintain the accuracy of the system, we use the lead and lag compensator. Then unit fifth, stability analysis in time domain. So concept of stability. The stability concept, we can calculate the stability by using Routh and Hurwitz stability criteria. The previously there is the Hurwitz stability criteria, but it could not fulfill the condition of the stability. So Routh had modified that, and it becomes the Routh and Hurwitz stability criteria. In this, we have to calculate the transfer function. Using the transfer function, you can calculate the characteristics equation, and then we will get the we will analyzing the stability, or we can say that the if the poles and zeros, okay, poles and zeros, according to the poles and zeros, if the poles and zero lies the left half of the S plane, then our system is stable. If it lies the right half of S plane, then the system is unstable. Okay, do you know the poles and zeros? Okay, then root locus criteria. In root locus concept, the general rules, construction of root locus analysis and control system. So in root locus also we have to calculate the characteristics equations. Okay, and we have to plotting the poles and zeros on the loci points. Okay, and using that loci point we can conclude that our system is stable or not. We can uh, okay. Then unit 6, that is the last unit, we have to calculate, we have to understand the stability analysis in frequency domain. So there is the two domain, one is the time domain and another one is the frequency domain. The frequency domain is the practical approach. Okay, time domain also practical approach. There is the using with the time and using with the frequency. Okay, and frequency is nothing but the 1 by t. Okay, that we know. Then here we will see the introduction of time domain specification. In time domain specification, there is the Bode plot. So what is Bode plot? There is, we have to draw the two plot, magnitude plot and phase plot. Okay, so magnitude and phase plot, how to draw it? Using the characteristics equation. Then we have to adopt some method while plotting the Bode plot. Then after plotting the magnitude and phase plot, we have to calculate the stability margin. Okay, so for that we are getting the gain margin in magnitude and phase margin in the phase plot. So if the gain margin, when we will get the gain margin, if the phase crossover frequency we that connects to the gain magnitude plot. Okay, so we will get the gain margin, and gain crossover frequency points, we are considering that points and we are to going down, and whatever the phase we get, or whatever the phase we get on the plot, that is the phase margin. Means gain crossover frequency and phase crossover frequency is important point in the Bode plot. Similarly, we can calculate the stability margins. Okay, then analysis of Bode plot, frequency response of RC, RL, RLC, then Nyquist criteria, concept of polar plot. So polar plot is there we consider the two quadrant. Okay, and in Nyquist plot we have to use the all four quadrant. Okay, so whatever we plot in polar, that is the complete plot in fourth quadrant, that is the Nyquist plot. So we have to always follow the Nyquist criteria, so that we will be see details whenever we will start the fourth unit. Okay, most important, textbook. Okay, this is the university has prescribed this textbook. So many textbook are available in our college library. Okay, if the college will reopen, you can access this textbook from library, or the some textbook are available on net. Okay, you can download it, or if possible, I will keep that textbook copy in Moodle's account. I will keep all my lectures on or this PPTs on Moodle account. You can access it from Moodles, that will be available for you. So first textbook is the electrical and electronics measurement and instrumentation by A.K. Sawhney. So A.K. Sawhney is the author. Okay, so many books is written by A.K. Sawhney for instrumentations or measurement purpose. So this is the main book. Then instrumentation, measurement and analysis by B.C. Nakara and K.K. Chaudhary. So that is by Tata McGraw and Hill. Then electronics instrumentation and measuring techniques by W.D. Cooper. That is also very good book. So these three books are main textbook prescribed by university. Then control system engineering by Nagarath and M. Gopal. This is also the main author for control system. Then instrumentation device and system by Ranjan C. S. Sharma, Jr. and Mani. Then Modern Control System Engineering, that is the very good book, that is the foreign author book written by K. Ogata. I refer this book also. So you can refer this book Ogata for lead and lag compensator or compensator purpose. Then these are few reference book, that is the main textbook. If you want to, you can refer this book also. The Helfrich and Cooper, that is the very famous name, Modern Electronics Instrumentation and Measuring Techniques. Okay. Then second book is MMS Anand and Electronics Instrument and Instrumentation Technology. Then again the M Gopal, that is the same author we discussed in previous slide, but that is another book, Control System Principle and Design, that is by Tata McGraw and Hill. Then Benjamin C. Cow, this is also the very good author. And foreign author book, Automatic Control Systems. This book also available in our college library. Then Doblin, so that is for the measurement systems. Then Madan Gopal, that is the same author, Gopal M and Madan Gopal. That is the new book, Control System Principle and Design. That is also the Tata McGraw Hill and 7th edition, 1997. Then Norman, that is for the control systems. So that is for the John Wiley publication. So these are the few reference book, textbook. Now we will start our first unit. Okay. So what is our first unit? Principle of measurement, testing, and measuring instrument. Okay. So we already discussed that principle of measurement. The what principle of measurement is nothing but the instrument is designed to measure the sensitivity of measurement or measure of the change in instrument output that occurs when the quantity being measured or measured changes by given amount. Okay. Then testing also we know that that is the systematic procedure of measuring a sample of individual's behavior of the such a multiple choice and performance test. Okay. Then we will see the what is the instrumentation systems. Now we divided our subject instrumentation system and control system. So first we will discuss the instrumentation system. Instrument system plays the vital role in each and every branch of science and engineering. Okay, everywhere the instrument is needed. The instrumentation era start at the 16th 17th centuries. That was the steam engine age. Okay, that is the industry 1.0. So that is the mechanical industry completely. Steam engine are used, or mechanicals engines are used, or mechanical system are used more. So on that times, some international standard or forms. Okay, um, some scales are there for measurement purpose. Some weights, mechanical systems. Okay, then it's converted to the electrical systems to the last 18th century or beginning of the 19th or last 18th centuries, that the Thomas Alva Edison as designing the electricity. Okay, so that electricity is nothing but the DC electricity, and then the scientist Tesla has converted, has invented the AC electricity, and that AC electricity all completely replace the DC electricity, and it will take the times to complete replacement up to the 1917 80s. In the few years before, our trains also train also using to DC electricity. Now our trains is moving on AC, so that is the complete change in few years ago. Otherwise, the trains are used the DC current. Okay, so the major instruments or major system are work on the DC, because the controlling of DC system is easy on the earlier, but now we can control the AC by using the electronics or PLC control or uh, Now the area of the IoTs, and that is the industry 4.0, and here is the IoT is used basically. That is, we can say that the machine to machine communication. Okay. Now the measuring instrument has I have been used in 18th centuries. Gather the information of various parameters like temperature, pressure, humidity, density, viscosity, current, voltage. Okay, that also I already explain. There is the 9 parameters of electrical parameters. Okay, then here I am giving the few parameters. And instrument provides the engineer with the magnitude of parameters and may be considered as a third eye of engineer. So it is called as the third eye of the engineer. Okay. Okay. With the advancement of science and technology, the very accurate instrument are now on being designed. So day by day there is the lot of change in the instrumentation. Mechanical is again mechanical to electrical, electrical to the electronics, and electronics to the now the IoT system. So in IoT system, the all the machines work you are using the command of your computers, your laptops, or your mobile, or just some sensors. You can give the command through the sensors. Okay, so with the rapid growth of electronics in 1950, the instrument based on electronic principle for the purpose of measurement have been developed. With instrumentation need to control any process properly required the through monitoring of various parameter of process. Now the technology of controlling the process parameter and use of electronics of measurement and controlling. Okay, so these parameters are leads to be development of electronics instrumentation and process control system. So this is the our name of our subject or name of our course. So here I use the process control. So actually the that is control system is nothing but the process control system. So process control system word is used in the process industry. Now again, what is electronic instrumentation? The an instrument device that measures, manipulates the process, physical variables such as flow, temperature, level, or pressures, or it may be collective terms for a measuring instrument that used by indicating or recording some physical quantity. Then the device as simple as direct reading thermometers. Okay, here I am giving the example of thermometer. Okay, what is the basic thermometers? In basic thermometers, there is the one ball and there is the two tubes. In one tube that is filled with the mercury, and another tube there we return the scale in the degrees or Fahrenheit. Okay, and that bulb there is we are using some metals. Okay, and that sense the body temperature. Okay, so that metal sense the body temperature. When the our temperature increase, okay, the that bulb is detect the temperature and the mercury will rise. Okay, and where the mercury stop or mercury will stop, we can take the reading. That is the basic thermometer. Now the digital thermometer in pandemic COVID-19 situation, so many societies or so many school, colleges, everywhere they purchase the digital thermometer. Just they scan you and they detect your temperature. There are the some oximeter also, the digital oximeter they are put on your finger. They detect your oxygen level also. So these are the many changes occur in the instrumentation system. In digital thermometer, they use the 4 to 5 types of electronic sensors. There may be some semiconductor sensors, then thermistor, thermocouple. Okay, using that they have to sense. Okay, there are also the temperature, and using the temperature, resistance value will be changed, and then the resistance value will be measured, and that will be displayed on the display counter. Okay, so immediately that is also the infrared sensor. You can say that. Okay, so that sensor are used nowadays. That is the era of the electronics instrumentation. Okay, so this is one example. Then in Today, instrument can be found in laboratories, refineries, factories, and vehicles. So I am written from this book. Now we can say the instrument can found in the societies also. Okay, so many societies have taken this instrument, mechanical instrument for and thermometer also. Okay, then the okay. Now we will discuss the control system. So control system is the complete subject. Control system is a system which provides the desired response by controlling the output. Means if you control the output, okay, controlling the output is controlled by input. Okay, that is depend on input. Then control system manage, commands, direct or regulate the behavior of other devices or system using the control loops. So there is the open loop control and closed loop control. So in open loop control, that is the output is totally depend on input, and in closed loop system, the output is depend on input as well as the somehow depends on the feedback element. Okay, so it minimizes the error. Okay, so okay. Now it can range from single home heating controller using the thermostat controlling a domestic boiler to large industrial control system, then which are used for controlling the process or machines. Okay, uh, in the example of AC, okay, uh, if we have to given the some nowadays the modern AC is there, that is the some nowadays the IoT based AC will be come in some few days. Okay, you can control, you can start your AC from your mobile. Okay, one chip that is installed in your AC, and you can controlling your AC from your mobile. But the smart AC is there, inverter control AC is there. If you have to set the temperature, so there is the one sensor is there. Okay, so if you set the temperature, if the temperature being decreases or increases, then AC will be start. Okay, if the temperature is falling down, the AC will be off. Okay, so it will save the power, and if the temperature increasing, the AC will be automatically start. So that system is in the AC. So that is the example of the control system. So that is the example of the closed loop control system, because that sensor is given the feedback to the input. Okay, so according to that feedback, the your AC is on or off. Okay, so this is very simple example. Okay, now here in figure I am showing the simple open loop control system. So that is block control system, output and input. So output is controlled by input. Okay, whatever input, the one example here is the one electric bulb is there, two wire is there. Okay, when we apply this two wire without switch, the bulb is on. Okay, and we could not off. So we have to apply one switch there or one dimmer there. Dimmer means we have to increasing the intensity of bulb or we are to decreasing the intensity of bulb. Okay, so that switch or that dimmer is used as a controlling the bulb. So this is the complete example of control system. Otherwise, this is the one system. Okay, so some group is there to achieve or to attain the certain objective, but not the control system. Okay, so this is the split up of your subject. Now, before we are starting the actual syllabus of your subject, we are going to understand what is the types of electrical instruments. So in this diagram, I am showing the multimeter. Okay, so any instrument which is used to measure electrical quantities like current, voltage, electrical power, electrical energy, power factor, frequency, etc. are called as the electrical instrument. Okay, so multimeter we can use measure the current, voltage. We can calculate the power. For power measurement, there is another types of meter, that is watt hour meter, energy meter. Okay, To measuring the power factor also there is another meter is there. Now before going to our actual syllabus, we will discuss the classification of electrical instrument. So this electrical instrument is classified by absolute instrument, then secondary instrument, that is again classified into indicating, recording, integrating, then AC, DC, AC, DC, or analog or digital. So we will see the first absolute instrument. This absolute instrument means this instrument which gives the value of the quantity to be measured in terms of constant of the instrument. Here I am showing the example of the tangent galvanometer. Okay, so tangent galvanometer and relate current balance. Okay, so what is tangent galvanometer? That is the early measurement system. Okay, or early measurement instrument for small electric current is applied. Okay, applied in the coil, and that is surrounding by the magnets. So using the law of magnets, okay, we will get the indications. Okay, so how it actually happens. Okay, okay, I will explain this tangent galvanometer. Okay, so this tangent galvanometer or galvanometers is nothing but there is the some spring control system is there. Okay, so that is the controlling the torque. Okay, spring control system that is controlling the torques, that is the basic instrument. Then that is nothing but the permanent magnet moving coil instrument types. Okay, so in the construction of this permanent magnet, so one pointer is there. Okay, pointer is there, then soft iron core and control spring is there. Then one the balancing weight of that coil beside the pointer. Okay, and that coil is the one copper coil or control spring. Okay, um, so if you applying the small current, or that will work in the current carrying conductor that will be placed in the magnetic field, it experience a force, and due to that force we are getting the torque. How we are getting the torque? Okay, we know that that is the F equal to BIL. BIL means what is B? That is the flux density. Okay, I is the current, and current flowing in the that winding. Okay, then the length of the coil. Okay, so similarly we can calculate the torque. Okay, so this type of instrument is used in the absolute instrument, that is the tangent galvanometer. According to the current, that pointer will deflect. In relate current balance, according to the current, there is the some balance. Weight is there, and that weight will be shifted here and there, and according to the we have to measure the current. Okay, and that is written on the scale. Okay, so there are the number of advantages of this, and these are the previous instrumentation used in the in electrical systems. Okay, so give the uniform scale. Oh, I understand. Then I will move the next slide. Okay, next is the secondary instrument. So secondary instrument, that are the primary instrument or previous instrument. Secondary instrument, this instrument gives the magnitude of the quantity directly by the deflection of the pointers on the scale. So these are the deflecting type instrument, voltmeter, ammeter. That is mostly now the secondary instrument are used. So I am showing both the instrument, analog as well as the digital. Here the analog ammeter and analog voltmeter is there. They are using the same principle. The current or voltage, according to the current and voltage, it will be worse. It will be given the pointer will be showing the voltage and current. Okay, here is the calibration is the main part. We have to always adjust the null pointer are always on null, means we have to adjust the pointer on 0. Okay, so we will get the accurate reading. Then this is the digital. In digital we can measure the voltage as well as the current simultaneously. Okay, here also the calibration is required, but here calibration in the form of the some programs. Okay, we have to program properly, so we will get the proper calibration. Okay, in the program, or we have to use the proper chips or proper ICs. Okay, and first when you calibrate, you will get the accurate result. Okay, but all the instrument require the calibration time to times. Then electrical instrument are also classified. So electrical also classified as analog instrument, digital instrument. Okay, so what is analog instrument? So that is the in the secondary instrument. Okay, so analog information is continuous and stepless function. Okay, so analog instrument are easy to understand, calibrate and maintain. Okay, so such instrument have the calibrated scale, pointer moves on scale and gives the reading of the quantity. Then digital instrument does not consist of scale of pointer, they directly gives the reading the digital forms. Okay, so digital information is in the form of discrete pulses or steps. Utilizing a coding systems and counting process, digital instrument have the higher resolution and high readability. Okay, so here I am showing the digital multimeter and the analog multimeter. That analog multimeter is used previously. Then there is another or most popular way of classifying electrical instrument. Okay, so that is in the three category: indicating instrument, recording instrument and integrating instrument. So in indicating instrument, this instrument indicates the instantaneous value of quantity under the measurement. This indication gives the pointer moving and calibrated scale. The example of this, the ordinary ammeter and voltmeter comes under this category. That is the indicating instrument. Okay, simple pointer based instrument. Okay, so previous wattmeter, electrodynamic wattmeters, energy meters under this, the indicating as well as the integrating, because the number is increasing, that also the stored. Okay, so next is the recording instrument. In recording instrument, this instrument which gives the continuous record or variation of the quantity under the measurement over a period of times. Such instrument consist of ink pen which move on the chart or graph. The part traced by the pen represent the continuous record of the variation of quantity. So here I am showing the two diagram. This is the first diagram, black and white diagram is the ECG machine. So in this ECG machine is described by Einthoven. Okay, so there we have to use the Einthoven triangle while taking the ECG of the heart of the any man or woman or any person. Okay, so we have to apply the electrode in the form of Einthoven triangle. In Einthoven triangle, we have to take the measurement of the heart. Some we have to keep the electrolyte on the heart. Okay, in such a manner. So then one electrode on one hand, another electrode on another arm. Then one legs, or we have to cover the two legs also. Means the entire chest, some points of chest, and then we can measure the echocardiogram of your heart. Okay, so there is the PQRST is there. So we can that is the one graph PQRST or slope, we can say that is in the form of PQRST. If that is the perfect, then your heart is perfect. Otherwise, there is the some problem. Okay, so now this machine is completely changed in the electronics area. That this is very unique. This is the very old machine. Okay, very big unit. There are the first machine. Then now this is the very compact machine we can carry anywhere, and here the continuously recording the instrument, whatever your measurement of your chest, that is continuously copying on these pages, and you can analyze immediately. Okay, so that is the difference between the today's generation and previous generation. Okay, so there is the number of changes in the instrumentations, machineries. Okay, now third is the integrating instrument. This instrument neither provide the instantaneous value nor they maintain the record of the quantity, but they integrate or sum up the quantity under measurement. Okay, so example of such instruments are ampere hour meters, energy meters. So energy meter goes on integrating the units being consumed and reads the total sum of the continue or the consumed since beginning. Okay, so this is the first energy meter. Okay, so in first energy meter, okay, so that is used to measure the energy utilized by electric load, that is known as energy meter. Okay, and total power consumed and utilized by the load in particular interval of time, means it continuous integrating. Okay, in domestic, or that will be used in the AC circuits. Okay, then this electric meter, old electric meter, there is the two types of magnet. Okay, so that can measure the previously DC current and AC current also. Okay, so that can measures the continuous measuring instantaneous voltage currents and to give energy. Okay, the meters are smaller service and can be connected directly in the line between the source and customers. Okay, so whatever you are using, that will be continuously indicating. Then the in digital meter, that is the advancement of meters. Okay, there also the value of continuously showing on the digital display. Nowadays the electronic the advancement has done in the energy hour meter. Okay, in industry the MECB person did not take the readings. Okay, there is the arrangement, one modem is there and one antenna is there and one SIM card is there. So after calibrating that, that is modem is directly connected to the input of that meter, and that direct reading, that will be taken the reading of the meter and that directly sent to the MECB office. So this advancement is done now. The this new types of energy over meter. Now the general principle of measurement. In general principle of measurement, so first we will see the measurement. So measurement of the given quantity, that is essentially an act or the result of the comparison between the quantity and predefined quantity standard. Since two quantity are compared, the result is expressed in numerical value. Okay. Then we can say that the advancement of science and technology is dependence upon the parallel process or progress of measurement techniques. Okay. Uh, or we can say the major function of measurement is design equipment and processor, proper operation, maintenance and equipment and process. So measurement is the process by which one can converts the physical parameter into the meaningful number. The measurement of given quantity is the result of the comparison between the quantity to be measured and a defined standard. The instruments which are used to such measurement are called as the measuring instruments. So here I am showing the first mechanical balance, that is also the weighing scale or old age, and the electronics weighing scale. Okay, so I am explaining the mechanical balance. Okay, so mechanical balance, that is the simple balance scheme, okay, that are commonly used as a weight. Okay, so that is the triple beam balance are commonly used in the classroom settings to weight the powders and bulk ingredients. Okay, so these are the here is the one scale is there and balance is adjusted there. Okay, after putting the weight, so balance is moving on the scale, and according to the movement of the balance, when the balance is set, you have to take the readings. And in electronics weighing scale, there is the Wheatstone bridge or strain gauge is used with the load cell. Okay, and the calibration program is done, and that is stored in the microcontroller or some processor ICs. Okay, and it will show the display. Okay, so there are the number of weighing scale. Number of the weighing scale is there, that can be. Okay, that can measure the small weight to big weight. Okay, I understand this. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, next point. I understand the weighing scale. Okay, the necessary requirement for any measurement or measuring instruments. Okay, uh, measuring instrument or necessary requirement for any measuring instruments are with the introduction of the instrument. in the circuit condition should not be altered. Okay, so whenever you have to measure the current voltage, okay, so whatever the circuit, there should not be any changes in that circuit, so not get affected due to the instrument use. Then power consumed by the instrument for their operation should be as small as possible. Okay, so that is the main criteria for our main requirement for a measurement instrument. Then the instrument basics. Okay, so there are the three. I am explaining this point instrument basic. Here I am using the only 3 points. Then we will. I am explaining this basic instrumentation with the details diagram. Okay, so it requires the one detector, a detector, and intermediate transfer function. Okay, so the instrument are used to measure and control the condition of process. Steam as the pass through the plant. The instrument are used to measure the control process variables such as temperature, flow, level, pressures. Okay, so we require the detector according to the that systems. Okay, then we will see the history of development of instrument. So before going to that details of the instrument, we have to first understand the three phases of instrument. That three phases is nothing but the mechanical, electrical, and electronics instrument. Okay, so first we will see the mechanical instrument. In mechanical instrument, these instruments are very reliable for static and stable condition, but these instruments have moving parts that are rigid, heavy, bulky, and hence the large mass. Okay, okay. So there are the many example of mechanical instruments. Okay, so basic that is the vernier scale, steel scale, depth scale, plunger dial. So many example of the mechanical instrument. We can take the simple example of the weighing scale. Okay, so in weighing scale also, if the balancing machine of weighing scale, if you consider that there may be the lot of error or we have to adjust the weight every time. If you go for the electronics weighing scale nowadays, that is available in the all shops are everywhere. Okay, whenever they have to sells their product, okay, they are using the weighing scale. Okay, so they just put their product and automatically the weight will be displayed as well as the price also the display. So so in the electronics weighing scale is more useful nowadays. Okay, but previously it is start from the mechanical weighing scale, so it have some disadvantages. They are unable to respond rapidly to the measurement of dynamic and transient condition. Most of them are potential source of the noise and case noise pollution. Then next, the electrical instrument. There are the number of electrical instrument. Okay, that indicating the output of the in detectors is more rapid mechanical change methods, but electrical instrument depends on the mechanical movement of an indicating device or having some inertia that limited to response. Okay, so the very popular mechanical gauges are the ruler and scale that is used nowadays also. Okay, Then electronics instrument. These instruments are used for fast response required for the scientific and industrial instrument. Okay, they are used for the detection of electromagnetically produced signal, radio, video, and microwaves. Then space applications and computers. That is all under the electronics instrument. Okay. So DC voltmeters, AC voltmeters, that all are the electronics instrument. Okay. DC voltmeter or DC, that is where is the digital display is there. That is all in the category of the electronics instrument. Okay. So this instrument makes use of semiconductor device. Then electronics device that only movement involves is that electrons. The response time is extremely small, account of very small inertia of electronics. Then example, okay, if we are considering the example of CRO, cathode ray oscilloscope, okay, that is capable of following the dynamic and transition changes of the nanosecond. Okay, so here is the CRO is I am showing it will respond fast. Okay, so in this way we cover this. Okay, many of the musical instrument also in the electronics. Okay, okay, now the generalized measurement system. So in generalized measurement systems there is the three block we considers. First, first is the primary sensing elements. So in primary sensing elements we can use the sensors whatever the quantity under the measurement. So we have to choose that sensors. Then variable conversion elements which modifies the suitably the output of the primary sensing elements, and data presentation elements that renders to indication on a calibrated scale. Okay, we will see the detail. Okay, so in primary sensing elements, the quantity under measurement makes the first contact with the primary sensing elements. Then measurand. Measurand means is that is the first detected by the primary sensors. Then this output is converted into the electrical signal by transducer and converts energy from one form to another. Then variable conversion elements, that is the output of primary sensing elements may be electrical signal of any forms, and it may be voltage frequency. And data presentation, that is the renders the indication of calibrated scale. Okay, then very again, this is the block diagram of the generalized measurement system. Again here quantity to be measured, that is placed under the primary sensing element, then variable conversion element, variable manipulation element. So another block we added it, and data transmission element and data presentation. Okay, so variable manipulation element is nothing but the to manipulate the signal presented to the preserving the original nature of the signal. Then that element should follow the variable conversion element. Okay, some non-linear process also there like modulation, detection, sampling. This process conversion is called as signal conditioning. This all is called as signal conditioning, and this function is done by the data presentation element. Okay, this information about the quantity under measure has to be conveyed to the personal handling of the instrument or the monitoring systems. Okay, in case the data is to be the recorded or recorder like magnetic tapes. Okay, so in automobile industry they have to maintain the big data. So in previous day they used to magnetic tape recorder to store the information. Okay, some can be used for the high speed camera. They are showing then TV equipment, CRO, CRT, printers. Okay, so this type of instrument are used for data presentation and controlling. Okay, this is the block diagram of generalized measurement system. Again, I use another block. Okay, again I simplify this physical quantity to be measured to the primary sensing element, variable conversion element, then variable manipulation element, then data transmission element, then data processing element, data presentation element, and observer. Okay, so I think you all are tired. Okay, so from next lectures, I will take it from again the block diagram of generalized measurement systems. Okay, this is very much important. Okay, so there is always one question on the data always one question on the generalized measurement systems. Okay, 10 marks question is always there. Okay, okay, so student, you can write your name and roll number in chat box so I can take attendance. Okay, if you have any queries or if you have any question in your mind, you can write in the chat box. I will answer in last 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so write in chat box. Okay, then I will stop my sharing. Okay. Thank you. Thank you all. Write in the chat box and I will answer your all questions.